So I was on Vice's Masculinity Debate.
Is there something inherently violent about masculinity?
No, I don't think so. If a majority of men were bad, evil, violent, a lot of us would not be sitting here today. Okay, we'd still be in the Stone Age.
And to tell you the truth, the title might be a little bit dramatic, but maybe not. You decide. I was excited to be on a platform like that. You know, I was excited to be in a different setting, someone else's studio. I've never had that type of experience before. I've spoken in front of people before. I've spoken in front of hundreds of people. Right?
First off, I want to say,
but that was a different environment. So that being said, I was kind of wary that, you know, maybe I'm going into the lion's den. Maybe they won't be unbiased. They might be leaning a certain type of way. And when I was doing my little bit of research before I went there, Vice was a little bit left leaning. But when we were there filming, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. There were certain things where you could tell they kind of were leaning in that direction. There was a big emphasis on toxic masculinity and patriarchy. There is a big emphasis on wage gap, as if men and women get paid differently for the same job. That wage gap is not real. And they brought up a very strange question, which they cut out of the full video, which is probably good for them that they cut it out, because it just make them look kind of stupid. Like, why would you ask us that question? I'm gonna get back to that. So pretty much what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna talk about my experience, and I'm gonna point out parts that are cut out in the footage that they actually used. Reference and context. We filmed for at least 2 to 3 hours. The footage they used was from the first 40 minutes and cut up a lot of that. It's probably the first 50 minutes, you know, adjusting for the time they cut up. And they kind of spliced one of the questions at the end. Or like the outro, they spliced that because that was from the actual end. And if you look closely, you can't see the Asian dude in the back. You can't see his shoulder next to James, because he left. He left during lunch break. So it was tough, you know. A lot of stuff was said. I was left on the cutting room floor to paint whatever picture that they was trying to paint. Men need to change. Men need to be more like women. So to get started, I want to talk about myself, right? You know, going on there, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, dang, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Because like I said, I've never really been in a situation like that. You know, it's a new experience for me. So I was trying to play by ear. I wasn't trying to be too extreme. I was a little bit more reserved than I usually am. If you watch my channel, you see how I talk and express myself. So I was just a lot more reserved, at least in the first half of when we were filming. But if you base it off of what they put out, man, it looked like I ain't talk at all. Bro, it looked like a nigga was mute, bro. Like, come on, man.
Make masculinity into a caricature.
Has real ideas and implications, and we learn from like TV and
None of us can really describe what it is, but we can see it.
You know, bruh, be for real. Especially with some of the stuff they were saying, it's like, yo, really? I didn't say anything? Or when they did show when I was talking and it cut short, I was like, really? That's all I said? Are you serious? Are you serious? I find it hard to believe. But yeah, there was a couple different factors, you know, just not feeling comfortable right away. Just like with public interviews, I don't feel comfortable immediately. Even if you watch the videos, it seems like I'm real comfortable, like it's nothing. But I don't really feel comfortable until after like I get the first person on camera. And then now I'm kind of getting into a role, into a stride with things. So I didn't really feel comfortable off a rip. It was really cold in there. Like, you can't really tell on the camera, but we was shivering. And I was definitely stuttering at first a lot, you know, because it was the nerves, bro. It was the nerves. I can appreciate the opportunity to be on a big platform as a small creator, right? But at the same time, I don't like that I pretty much felt like I was on a leftist feminist propaganda piece. A video talking about how men need to be more like women is pretty much what they were saying, okay? That's not to say there was no valid ideas, there was no valid opinions in the video. There were. The thing is, they just happened to cut out a lot of the rebuttals that didn't fit into what they felt was okay. If you watch the reaction, I gave a couple examples of stuff that they cut. Because I was watching it real time and I was remembering these moments. I'm like, yo, where's the rest? I'm going to give you a couple examples. For example, this part right here.
Last night, and I walked several blocks because I wanted to check out a few things, and it was dark. Not a single time did the idea that I would be physically or sexually assaulted cross my mind. Not a single time. I can imagine that that doesn't really work out for women.
It comes down to biological differences. As a man, you're more likely to be able to have more of a chance to fend off someone attacking you. As a woman, not really. So that's why, you know, we have things like mace and tasers or having a gun.
Is it something about it's hard to
more. Why didn't they finish the rest I said? It was so funny that they left part of it, right? Where, women have to have tools to defend themselves because men, generally speaking, are more physically capable of fighting off somebody, generally speaking. What I said after that was, that's you, buddy, okay? The average person is not thinking that way, especially not in fucking New York. They chop niggas' heads in New York, okay? I know what they do in New York. It's not some sweet shit, especially when it's somewhere that you've never been before. The average person is not gonna walk around. The average man is not gonna walk around. Nothing's gonna happen to me. No, because we understand that anything can happen at any moment. When we're out somewhere, we have to survey the surroundings, and that's pretty much what I said. I was like, no, bro. Even me, I just stay on my P's and Q's. I never been in this city before. I'm in a whole new city. I don't know these people. I don't know nobody here. I'm not just gonna walk around and think nothing's gonna happen to me. Something can happen. They cut all that out. It was either the host, Krishna, or Griffin, the dude in the dress. They responded to what I said as, oh, well, but who's committing those crimes? Who's committing those violent crimes? Men, right? As if that proved the point. That didn't prove nothing. Since the beginning of time, good men have battled bad men to protect women, children, and their society. Okay? That's the way of life. There's always going to be bad eggs. There's always going to be bad apples. That's what it is. So saying that, commits those crimes does not disprove nothing that I said. It doesn't cancel nothing out. And they kept trying to make it seem like as if women are the biggest victims. All these things happen to women, right? Men are the higher victims of violent crime compared to women. Women just have that added layer of SA. Can't say because of YouTube. I'm trying not to cuss too much, okay? Because I'm going to get monetized soon. Up to y'all. But, and there's stats that prove that. I didn't say that, though, because I didn't have that at the top of my head. I was just like, they moved on to the conversation. The majority of victims are male for intimidation, for assault, okay, and murder. And yet they trying to put this idea in women's heads. Oh, if you go outside, you have to watch where you're going because you have threat of being murdered. Fucking the motherfucking address, right? Andre, the Asian dude, was talking about how dating can be hard sometimes. And what was Griffin's response? Well, yeah, men have to worry about that, but women have to worry about the date going bad and getting murdered. What the fuck is wrong with you? First of all, that's no, you're exaggerating. Two, you're trying to say that as if that, what's the word? As if that disqualifies the man's experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that women, them activist liberal types, people like Griffin, that's something that they do often. They try to discredit your experience because, their experience is more important and it's more dire even though they exaggerate the numbers. Not honorable. I don't fuck with it. And listen, when I say these stats, when I list these things off, it's not to say that what happens to women doesn't matter. We all know it fucking matters. It's crime, okay? It's bad things. It matters for everybody. Duh. The thing is, we have to go to the statistics and bring this shit up because motherfuckers like the motherfuckers on the panel and then motherfuckers at Vice, they like to act as if women are victims, and men are always the perpetrators, bro. I don't agree with that shit, bro. Because what you're doing, you're building this mindset. You're building a culture of fear. Okay? You're making niggas go outside thinking they got to be scared to go outside. All right, so here's another clip that they cut. And I thought it was real funny.
A lot of these girls, especially if you're really attractive, guys are hitting on them all day. So they feel like
this is when the host is gonna say something that I thought was pretty stupid. Like, what are you talking about?
Celebrities. You got so many options. I don't blame you. I'd be the same way. Becomes
There's always somebody better.
I think technology has a big part to do with that now. Modern times, online dating, Instagram.
Especially as a girl, you're going to have 30 DMs a day.
Yeah, the DMs.
You know what I'm saying? Swipe it up on your
I think that's a big reason why it can be tougher for some men.
Not successful.
I think what he's saying is
bro, they cut it. What the fuck? Why
there's a toxicity.
Oh my gosh, why did they cut it, bro? They cut it because they knew it was fucking stupid. So, what they cut out, Andre, the Asian dude in the back in the brown jacket thing, he also began to state, like I said, that he kept going with his original point, saying how he could tell when a girl is new to New York because when she's new, she gives him all. He was giving a personal example. She gave him all his attention, all her attention, all that. Wood, 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 wood. Excuse me. And he can base the fact that she gets all that attention because she is new to New York and is not used to the amount of attention that she will eventually get for being an attractive girl. Now, that's not to say that's always the case, okay? But that can be the case, okay? Like, oh, wow, I have a lot of options. Like, I don't really need to just settle for this guy. I can keep my options open, keep looking. That's, that's facts. That's what happens, okay? And that's all he was saying. He didn't say it was bad or good. He just said that's what it was, right? It's something that we can all appreciate and understand. I got to make a side note. When I talk about things like this, these type of people often try to think, they perceive it as if we're saying it as a bad thing. We're just saying it so other people can understand what's going on and we can accept it. But women specifically don't like when we talk about the tactics and the things that they do, because if we know what they be doing, they can't really run game the same way or get the same outcomes that they want out of niggas, right? Because a lot of simp ass niggas that's gonna deal with bullshit, they food for them. You know what I'm saying? They sport entertainment for them, right? So if them niggas know what to do and they know what to look for, they're not gonna get their enjoyment out of it. That's why now when you see dudes, the passport bros, right? When they leave in the country to go find women over there, to go either fuck them girls over there or go actually find like a wife for real, what do? They slander them. Oh, you can't get no bitches over here, so you gotta go all the way to another country. No, you just mad. Anyways, side note over. After Andre, the comedian, said that, this is what the host said. Oh, so what you're saying is when women get successful, their standards go up. What? That's why, listen when, right at that cut. Listen to what I say. Listen closely.
Reason why it can be tougher for some men.
Not successful.
I think what he's saying is there's a.
You hear what I said?
Not successful.
I think what he's saying is there's a.
Because everybody's confused. We're like, what? What are you talking about? They cut it out because they know it was stupid. They cut it because they knew it was fucking stupid. You're reaching. Because, like I said, this is Vice. Leftist propaganda. Female perspective only, right? The biased female perception, okay? Because not all females, not all girls, not all women think the same. But there's a certain sect of women that think like this, the idea that they're trying to push, okay? And that was one of them. So they actually did kind of good cutting it out because they, bruh, what the fuck y'all talking about, bro? No. And really, it's kind of gaslighting too, you could say, because you knew exactly what the fuck he meant and you said something else that was completely different than what he said and try to make it seem like that's what he meant. No. Like, you think we're not going to push back on that, bruh? That's the thing. There was plenty of other stuff that we pushed back on, but they did not show that pushback. They have Mr. Tahoe over there, Mr. Progressive Black Man from the hood, saying all the textbook terms, structural racism and patriarchy, and, look at all the power that we had. Bro, please, bro. And y'all probably remember this question.
What is big dick energy?
It's when confidence crosses the line of arrogance. That's exactly.
People have told me I have
agree.
BDE.
I think they asked this question 2 times, right? One was at this point in time, and then one was later on, towards the end. And the first time they even asked it was like, okay, whatever, all right, I guess. But then they asked it a second time, but it was modified. We were deep in conversation. Everybody was talking. Everybody was actually discussing something for real. It was actually pretty productive. It wasn't like toxic and nothing crazy. It wasn't arguing, whatever. This man interrupts the conversation, the good quality conversation we're having, to say, do you guys think Donald Trump has big dick energy? Bruh, they did good to cut that out. Because after he said that bullshit, everybody, even no, not Griffin. Griffin answered quick. Griffin said, no. But all of us, everybody else, regular niggas, just looking at him like, bro, what? You interrupted to ask that question? And I wish I said that. I was just so confused. Like, we just looked at him. I was making faces. They didn't show him. But I was looking at him crazy. We were all looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you ask us that? Liberal agenda. You bringing up Donald Trump for no reason. Did they not learn their lesson? When Donald Trump was president, they talked about this man every day. Every news cycle. Trump. And then they get surprised when the internet loves him. Trolls love him because the establishment is telling us not to like something or someone. And we're not really seeing why exactly we shouldn't like this person, or we could tell that they're trying to make up reasons or manipulate reasons, which I'm sure there's plenty of reasons not to like Trump, okay? I'm not particularly a fan of him, but I don't have nothing on top of my memory to like, oh yeah, I like him or I don't like him. I just know he's a white dude. Probably just as racist as any other old white person. Sorry. Old white person has been in the establishment. Sorry, what the fuck? And it was just like, yo, like, why would you even... Just bullshit. Bro. The more I watch the debate, the panel, the more annoyed I'm getting. Now, there's about 2 more moments that I remember vividly that I was really excited to see in the video that they did not put in. The first one, and it was me and Tahoe kind of butting heads. The first one was about the wage gap. If you notice in the clip in the video when I asked him,
what privileges are you referring to? Like, what privileges do men have?
And he said, you know,
we've constructed this entire society to benefit us.
I said, okay, well, what?
Break it down. Like, what privileges exactly?
And what'd he say?
Like, we talk about the wage gap, or if you look at Roe versus Wade, men controlling women's bodies.
You know, like, the wage gap, or, you know, trying to control women's bodies, Roe v. Wade. At that point in time, I didn't really have too much of an opinion on abortion or Roe v. Wade. I was still trying to, you know, I was still thinking about that myself. But the wage gap, I was like, no, bro, that shit is not real. But I didn't get to say it in that moment. I let it slide. Eventually, it kept coming up multiple times. Wage gap, wage gap, wage gap. And I was like, yo, listen, I got to say something. Because y'all been bringing it up, and I was maybe thinking somebody else was going to say it, but I'm like, nah, this y'all tripping. The wage gap, as y'all say, a man earning more than women in the same position, that shit is not real, okay? That shit not real. It's fake. It's fake. Fugazi. It's not real. The only wage gap is due to personal choice and preference between the genders. Men are more likely to work higher paying jobs, higher risk jobs, the real hard labor jobs than women are. Ain't no women construction men. Ain't no women garbage men. There's some women truck drivers now. Woo! Give me the keys, because there's some bread in that. All I gotta do is drive and be careful. But ain't no women linemen. And for the fucking soy boys that's gonna get mad at everything I just said, of course there are some, but majority are men. That's the facts. And that's because women don't choose those harder jobs because they don't want to. Women would rather be in the medical field, rather be, you know, maybe secretaries, you know, stuff that's not as physically taxing. Another point to it, and this was brought up in the feminist panel, which is good. Women take more vacation time. Women take maternal leave. Women are just more likely not to work that much, okay? That's what it is. And women are not really into much of those STEM jobs. Science, technology, what's the E stand for? Engineering and math. You know what I'm saying? There are some, but it's not the majority. And that's not because social conditioning. They just don't want to do that shit, okay? You can try to socially condition them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because there is an element of social conditioning in life in general, right? I think me and Paul, the Asian dude, the gym bro, he owns a gym. We agreed, you know, that there's a balance of biological things that we just naturally feel and society, right? They go hand in hand in a lot of situations. I feel like that's more of a nature thing. Women are just not big and built for those jobs that men do. It is what it is. Sorry. We're different. We have different strengths, different weaknesses. Sorry. That's why we're both binary. 2 peas in a pod. That's what it is, bruh. I don't care what nobody say. And I said all that. I said all that. But Tahoe was like, oh, well, no, I know plenty of women who've told me, like, you know, they're working the same job as somebody else and they weren't getting paid the same. And I said, okay, well, cool. But what did I say? There may be some exceptions, but as a whole, that doesn't happen. You know why? Because of discrimination, and discrimination is illegal and punished to the utmost of the law, especially when it's easily proven. You can easily prove that somebody's getting paid more than somebody else when they work the same job. Compare pay stubs, compare hours, okay? Compare, you know, even the salary, compare position, compare experience. You can tell that. And I was like, hey, bruh, if I'm wrong, I'll be okay to be wrong, okay? If you can tell me I'm wrong, I'll accept that. But I did my research before I came out here, okay? I prepared. I know what'd be going on. And it was silent. Nobody had nothing to say. They was like, damn, phew. Didn't use that shit at all. Of course not, because it don't fit the fucking narrative about wage gap. They didn't want that shit in there. Ugh. Fuck, that nigga speaking the truth. Ugh. Delete it. Who brought this nigger on here? That's probably what them niggas was thinking. And then the second part, and I was so mad to cut this out, because where they cut the video was right when I was starting to tell that story. So this is what happened. This man, Tahoe, right? Black dude from New York that looked like Jamie Foxx a little bit. He was telling a story about, not wanting to offend people, yada, 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 yada. He was in Home Depot or Lowe's, whatever, looking for paint. Looking for a shade of pink paint. Okay? Pretty pink paint. And there just happened to be a gay couple, 2 men in the same aisle, living their life. He was just looking between 2 shades of pink. And he showed them. He was like, hey, which shade do y'all think is better or whatever? Some shit. And they kind of just like gave him like a weird look. And then he kind of didn't understand why they did that. And he later he realized like, oh, they must think I only asked them that because they're gay and I asked them about the color pink. Oh my God. Oh my God. And not the fact that they're the only motherfuckers there next to him. So he kept saying, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not like that. And they're like, okay, you good. It's straight. We get it. You straight. And he kept emphasizing. He felt so bad, oh my gosh, like, I'm not like that. Even when he saw him at the register, at the cashier, he apologized again. Uber apologizing. And it's funny, he made a point, which they didn't include, about how his therapist was telling him, maybe you're a little bit too open, like you're doing a little too much type shit. And it's so funny that he said that because this is what was coming out in these conversations. And you could probably see that a little bit in the Vice video that they put out. Nigga was saying every fucking textbook academic term that you could use in the liberal woke handbook. And so Christian Walker said something first. It was like, okay, well, as a gay man, like, you shouldn't get offended by something innocent like that. He said, we want equality. Well, I want you to treat me like anybody else. I want you to make jokes with me like anybody else. I want you to talk to me like you talk to anybody else. Because otherwise, that's not equality. You're treating me like I'm different. And what's the whole purpose of fighting for our freedoms and our rights? For you to treat me like I'm special. No, treat me like everybody else. Talk to me like you talk to the boys. Talk to me like you talk to everybody else. Talk to me like you talk to black people, white people, straight people, gay people, whatever. Talk to me like you talk to everybody else. And he started saying something. Tyler started saying something and I chimed in. I said, yes, because listen, I can appreciate that, if you feel like you offended somebody, you don't want to offend nobody. Okay, cool. But I have a story. And I'm glad you said that. When I came to New York, I made it a point to talk to as many people as I can. Have conversations, be cool. And so when I got to my hotel room, there was a bar. I was like, ooh, I know what I'm doing later. And working at the bar was a very, very fine, light-skinned Jamaican woman. Turns out she was my age. And I said, oh, god damn, boy. I gotta go spit some game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Maximum Riz on overdrive. So I left, came back. It's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'm at the bar, chopping it up. She made me a drink. I let her freestyle. She made me a drink. We chopping up, we laughing. You dig what I'm saying? And so I'm talking to her. We the same age. I tell her I'm Haitian. She's like, oh my gosh, you're Haitian? I'm Jamaican. I said, oh, are you Jamaican? She's like, yeah, I'm from Jamaica. I said, damn, I can't even tell, because her accent sounded like she was born in America. There happened to be 3 old white people. I think 2 women and 1 old man. And they were at the bar. She was also making them drinks. And they were talking to her too. The old white woman overheard her say that she's from Jamaica. She's Jamaican. You know what the white woman said? Oh my gosh, you're Jamaican? I love Bob Marley. Listen, when I tell you I had that whole studio rolling, I could see the cameramen and women chuckling behind the camera. Everybody was fucking laughing, bro. Everybody was fucking laughing. And then boom! They said, oh, we have to go for break. But the host was like, no way. Are you serious? That really happened? I said, yes, yesterday. We had a cut for break, lunch break. But it's like, yo, keep that story. Tell it again when we come back. So I told this whole story 2 times. Went on lunch break, came back, right? Tell the story again. I had him laughing again. And I followed through my point, right? Picking up where I left off. And so I say that to say, it would have been so easy for the girl to get offended. To feel like, oh, that was racist. You said that because I'm Jamaican. It was so easy to get offended by that. But then it's like, why would you do that? What is the intent behind what somebody's saying? I said this. I said you have to have that discernment. And when I said spirit of discernment. And when I said spirit of discernment, bro, the whole studio was quiet. They said, bro, I could hear a pen drop. Okay? It's like, y'all, damn, y'all niggas ain't never heard the word discernment before? Damn. You have to have that spirit of discernment to determine the intention behind somebody's words to you, okay? You got to be able to understand, why is somebody saying this to me? Who is this person? What are they trying to say? Is it really a threat? Is it really something that's trying to harm my spirit? Or is something innocent? That white lady was just trying to relate. What is the harm in that? Who cares? Tahoe was just asking two people who happen to be gay, what color of pink did they think was better? Did he ask them that because, oh, they're gay and they must like the color pink? Be for real. You have a choice to get offended. That's what I said. Speechless again. Oh, let me tell you, when we finished recording, I felt so good. I was like, yes, I can't wait for that clip. That's a good ass clip. That's a good ass clip, boy. Mink. After that, I said that's when Tahoe said I think that's when Tahoe said that therapist line about his therapist says he's too open. He has to, he's got to understand, like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? But of course, they didn't use that shit at all. Fuck. And based on how they ended it, it's not likely that they're gonna make a part 2. It's not likely at all, bro. Just the way that shit looked. Nah, it was too definitive. And I realize now that their purpose was not to have us actually debate about modern ideas and traditional ideas of being a man and masculinity. Their plan was to frame it in the way that they wanted to frame it to fit their agenda, their gynocentric agenda. Men are the problem. Men need to change their ways. Men need to change. Men. As if men are not faced with the reality of life every day and forced to make a choice of self-improvement or not. You need to have your bills paid? What are you gonna do? You want to attract women? What are you going to do? You want to be better and more proficient in your career to, let's say, be the breadwinner? What are you going to do? If a man does something wrong, what does society do? What do the people online do? Ridicule the man, easy, they kill him, rip him to shreds. What happens when a woman does something that's not that good or questionable? Oh, well, it's okay. Period, poo, period, sis. Yes, sis, do what you want, sis. Do what thou wilt. Look how quickly it becomes something that, do what thou wilt. Do whatever the fuck you want. And no one cares. And society is nothing gonna happen. You can just, no. Society don't work that way. You can't do whatever you want, bruh. Sorry. Whew. That's why the West is finished. Babe, what do I know? Maybe I'm just talking shit. Maybe I'm just bullshitting, bruh. Maybe I'm just bullshitting. Yeah, I know. You're here watching. Decide for yourself. Is there any merit to anything I said? Or am I just stupid? It was funny. Also, I haven't seen any too much reactions about from the masculinity debate video, but I saw Hassan react to it quick. It was funny seeing me on Hassan's thing because I do not like Hassan. From what I've seen of Hassan, I don't like this person. Not even because of politics, but just, well, yeah, our politics don't align, I guess. Our ideas, from what I can gander, but just like him as a person too, from what I've seen, it's like, bro, nah. You're like the liberal version of like the extreme red pill people, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully I shed some light on my perspective, okay? And showed you some examples of some of the things that they cut out. God damn. But I'll see y'all in the next one. I appreciate y'all. Oh, remember to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and comment. Thank you. But yeah, that was my experience. Do I regret it? If I could go back in time, would I do it again? I would, I would. If I was how I am now, oh yeah, it would have went a little bit more different in the beginning. But everything looks clear in hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20, okay? And at the end of the day, Vice is their own company. They can do whatever they want to do. They can push whatever narrative they want to push. They can tell whatever story they want to tell. Whatever message they want to send out. It is what it is. People seem to enjoy it though. That's good for them. Woo! If you got some, I hope you got something from the video. Even though it wasn't entirely everything that was there, I hope you got something from it. Okay? I'm not crazy. I'm just saying the stuff I didn't like. But I definitely think stuff I was saying, they was not going for it. Did not like it.